Tonight the creeps are taking over.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
All right, Corrosive Radio on the air now.
What's going on?
What's going on, Dan?
Doing well yourself?
Good. Brett's running a little late. Nick's not here tonight. Nick said he'll be here next week, though.
Just the two of us?
Just the two of us.
All right, let me get my pants off.
Yeah, okay.
All right, now we're talking.
Yeah, Brett's going to be here in about 5 minutes.
That's enough time.
So what was it? What were we talking about right before we went on?
Oh God, everything. We were talking about cults. We were talking about possible future guests. We were figuring out what's going on with call-in situations tonight. We had a crazy call-in show last time. We want more people calling this week.
That was good, but I still can't figure out whether or not people called in about the drugs because it was the premiere of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Or if it was just your phrasing.
Yeah, if it was just my phrase. Yeah. Because it was the second time we tried the idea. First time we got no response to Craigslist.
Yeah, absolutely.
This time it was overloaded. I had 34 voicemails of different numbers that we didn't get to.
You think it's just it's the Walter White effect? You think that it was basically that Breaking Bad comes
it was,
back?
I think it might have been that it was just on everybody's mind.
Yeah, but then again, drugs are usually on most people's minds, especially the ones that are known as drug addicts.
But again,
so,
we tried this before.
That's true.
I
have to think. I think it's the wording. I think that people as a whole are stupid. Yes, that even goes for people in the room and our listeners. So I'm just putting it out there that I really believe.
Well, I know some of our listeners are definitely dumb. I mean, they can't read an ad and follow the details
my point.
on it.
So I think that it's just the luck of the draw, and we ended up just getting some people calling in, but we hope people call in tonight. But we're looking now for some stories concerning relationships and
funny things, insane
dating.
things,
Yeah,
horrible
absolutely.
things that have. If you just broke up and are sitting there in your bed with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
That's a Wednesday night for me.
That's because you just broke up. I'm saying.
Oh, there you go. Okay, all right. Well, listen.
Is it still a Wednesday night for you?
Yeah. Shit. What the fuck. I'm cutting down only on the days that end in Y.
All
Those
right.
are the only ones that I'm drinking in. So.
All right, but you and I we've been talking about pulling a publicity stunt lately.
Yes, we have.
And one of the ideas we came up with was infiltrating a cult.
Absolutely.
I know we're not the first ones to have that idea.
No.
There was that movie that came out about 2 years ago. I don't know if you even heard of it, but
Which one?
I think it was called The Sound of Her Voice. It was exactly about that.
Really?
It was
Oh wait, I think I heard of it, and I never actually saw it. But
it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was about people infiltrating a cult, and as they infiltrated, they actually they kind of fell for it.
Yeah. What's your favorite cult? Is it Heaven's Gate?
It's defindefinly got to be some of the suicide.
Yeah, those are the good ones.
Those are the ones that we want to infiltrate.
I think those are the ones we want to interview. I was going to say, okay, it's a difficult one to pull off.
No, you know why? Because
we might need Furious Cracker for that.
We can't. Yeah, we can't do the. We can't do the Jehovah's Witnesses. We can't do the Mormons. We can't do Scientology because they're too regimented.
Right.
There's too much structure. It would take us too long to rise in the ranks.
Right.
You need something that meets in a garage, and they sit around in the lotus position.
Is there any cult that considers itself a cult? I mean, I know there's a big debate with people considering whether or not where you are on the spectrum between cult and religion, or what if there is a difference. And I'm not even looking to get into that discussion. But has there ever been a cult that's like, yeah, we're a fucking cult? We're not like a movement. We're not a religion. We are a cult. Has there ever been a cult?
Well, cult is, it comes from the word culture.
Right.
So I think if anybody's honest,
right.
Of course we've created a culture here.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
But obviously the Catholic Church does not consider themselves
yes,
a cult.
but at the same time, I don't think they'll ever have a problem using the phrase. That's part of the Catholic culture.
Right, exactly. But you'll never say, "Oh yeah, we're a cult over here."
Yeah, we're a cult.
Vatican. We're the Pope's the head of a cult. He's a cult leader. So that's the thing. I mean, it's a tricky sort of logistic there, but I think there's an element. I don't know. It just seems to me that one of the major deciding factors is how available information is. So even if it's something, whether it's like a Protestant denomination or a Catholics, or like you can find information out. Whereas with Scientology and with some of the other ones, you're a little bit limited in how much of information is available to you. I mean, I remember you're old enough to remember back in the 80s the Dianetics book that came out.
That's
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, Scientology.
And that was really the only. They
had the best commercials,
though.
though.
The best fucking commercial. The
volcanoes and the animation.
And it was like, whoa, they finally cracked the human brain.
I can't wait for this cartoon.
Yeah, I know. and they were just like, if you have problems with your relationship, page 72. And it was like they would have the actual page numbers if like the answer is right there. Because this is, pre-internet. I was trying to explain this to a buddy of mine. I'm like, he wasn't old enough to remember the Dianetics commercials, but I'm like, that was the original introduction to Scientology. People are like, L. Ron Hubbard. He was just, no one even remembered him being a failed science fiction writer at that point. I mean, I was too young to know him. I just thought like, oh, wow, this is like some kind of Tony Robbins shit. This is like self-help.
Wait. At that age, you were thinking that?
Yeah. I didn't know who Tony Robbins was, but I recognized that there was like these are things that are trying to help people with their lives. They'd show like a couple fighting and they'd be like, how come I just can't communicate with my wife? And it's page 52. And then it would be like, someone else would be like, why is it that I never able to achieve my goals? And then, it's like it basically was presenting itself as the answer to all of life's problems. Which is what any real good cult should do, No,
I really thought it was a cartoon coming out. That's what I thought. I mean, I saw the volcanoes and
yeah. I mean, well, there's that aspect of it appeals to all.
It had that science. It had that science fiction fantasy element that appeals to a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're like, oh shit, they made an animated version of Mad Max. You're like, whoa, it did. It looked like I remember the commercial even to this day. So I'm intrigued to see what's going on behind their doors, but I'm sure everyone is. So.
All right, so if you got an idea for a cult that we should infiltrate, give us a call at 201-580-3712. If you got a bad relationship, funny relationship, insane relationship story, give us a call at 201-580-3712. You guys can like us on Facebook at Corrosive Radio. You can follow us on Twitter at Corrosive Radio, and you can even Skype us at Corrosive Radio Audience. All right?
And let me ask you this, though. I think it goes without saying that any good cult should be a sex cult. I mean, if you were a cult leader, that has to be... See, you actually have a different... you actually have morals and values. I don't. But if I were a cult leader, I would demand to have sex with any attractive female follower.
Well, I think that's what most of them do. That.
Yeah, that's got to be I mean, like David Koresh, all these guys, this was pretty much their shot at getting pussy once and for all. I mean, I just think that it's just such a powerful aphrodisiac to be in charge. I mean, Manson, all these people that had these cult-like followings, or in this case, had a legitimate cult, I think, the vagina was a big motivating force behind all of them.
Sure it was.
Yeah, I mean, think about how you've got a lot of weak-willed women and weak-willed, but imagine that you're just like, wow, that guy must be a conduit to God. Let me spread my fucking legs. It's amazing that I don't know. I'm just amazed.
Well, no, you know what? You know what some of these do. What some of these guys do. I think is they overcharge the romance factor, because you think about romance. Think about the language that is used in romance.
Right.
It's quasi spiritual.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so when you supercharge that, I think it makes it real easy for a woman to fall for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about that. Plus, it's that whole idea that you're the person in charge. You have both the confidence and the respect and the power, and that's always going to be a powerful aphrodisiac. It's basically just going to get them wet. I mean, that's pretty much what it does. So I've always wondered about starting a cult, like the first move, how it's carried out. I mean...
Well, I've definitely met a few people who I think they were like cults unto themselves. They were cults waiting to happen.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, wow. These were people that they wouldn't attend any sort of organized church. They just went around kind of like plucking people out of a church, and then starting their own like Bible studies in their own home.
Right.
And teaching just the most bizarre things. It was very reminiscent of David Koresh.
Really?
Come on in, Brett. Brett just walked in.
There's our cult leader right now.
There you go. Brett, how you doing?
Okay, man. Sorry.
All right. We're talking about cults that we're possibly going to infiltrate and expose.
Talk about what?
Cults.
Oh, cults. We're talking religion?
Well, no, we're actually talking about publicity stunts, and we're just thinking that maybe.
Jeez. I think I know some people who do that kind of stuff.
You need some more.
Slack?
Yeah, you need some more slack there.
That's perfect.
You good?
Thank
You're
you.
good. So, well, let's get off this. And Brett, why don't we talk about what we were trying to get done this week?
Oh, okay. We could do that. We were trying to get this guy on. Should we say his name?
Yeah, say his name.
Jason Smith.
Jason Smith.
Oh my God! Lawsuit!
We tried to get this guy, Jason Smith, who had some nasty things to say to me after a show we did up in Catskill, New York. And can I explain what went down?
Yeah, and explain
Please.
that you're both comedians. You're both paid comics.
Right.
Okay.
We were going to get paid that night, and I think we did. We got a couple bucks. So a friend of mine, his name is Bobby Massey, another comedian, calls me up and says, I got a show to book up in Catskill, and I know you have a place near there, and would you like to do it? I said, yeah, I'd love to do it. He said, it's gonna be me and you, Dave Canyon, another comedian, nice guy, Stephanie Vanacore, female comedian, and she said, and the headliner is going to be Billy Batts, and he's from California.
Yeah, I checked out his Facebook page today.
Yeah. I'm glad you.
Look at you name dropping.
Yeah, we're going to name drop someone like
Oh
that.
my goodness, yeah.
He's another whack job. But anyway,
Brett's just making enemies
I don't give
by
a
the
shit.
second right here.
I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, just let it out. It's like therapy.
Yeah. So so we booked a show, and about 2 or 3 days before the show, my friend Dave calls me up and he freaks out because they just added Jason Smith to the lineup, and he wasn't supposed to be in the lineup, but he's a Catskill guy, so put him in. I was, out of the whole group of comedians booked for this show, I was the one that said, "Who gives a shit? Let the guy be on the show." They said, "Yeah, but he could bring it down because he's very edgy." Controversial, whatever.
Right.
He tells jokes about, screwing his girlfriend when she's on her period, screwing a girl German style, you do it from behind while her head's in the oven, that kind of material. And I don't care. I'm not going to I don't judge people by the material.
No, you're
I
open
judge,
to that.
I judge people if they're nice people, and they're nice people. I like them.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a nice person would do that for their girlfriend. I mean, let's
Sure.
be honest. If you're going to have your head in the oven.
Love is love.
If you're going to have your head in an oven, at least you'd want a cock inside of you at the same time.
Yes.
So.
That goes, like if it goes together like a hand in a glove. But so Jason Smith's added to the lineup because he's a local guy. He's from Catskill. And also I guess they also felt that he could maybe bring in a couple of people that would pay admission and it would help the show. I was completely fine with it. So the night of the show comes, and we start the show, and everything's going great. Dave Canyon's emceeing the show. He's doing a killer job. He's a great MC. They bring Stephanie on. She does well. And then it was time for Jason Smith.
Okay.
Who, before the show, I was talking to him and hang out. I like him.
Right.
I actually like the guy.
Sure.
Am I crazy about his material? I don't give a shit. I really don't. So
what's the old adage from Chris Rock? I remember them saying, "You respect the kill." You have to respect the kill. If a guy does well, he does well. It doesn't make a difference if you think it was classy or funny or edgy or smart. If the crowd loves it, the crowd loves it. And as long as he's not, stealing someone else's material, then, I'm sure you sort of live by that same thing.
Sure.
That, you might not love everybody's stuff, but if a guy does well, then he's going to do, and that's it. You don't care.
Not everybody loves my material either,
Right,
so I understand that. And I didn't care that they put him in the lineup at the last minute. I was the only one who did not care because I felt like they said, yeah, but you know what? He has a tendency to he's got a tendency that sometimes doesn't go over well because he's edgy.
Sure.
And even like a night or 2 nights before, I heard he did a show and people walked out.
Oh boy!
So I was like, so what?
You never tell. Some people are just super sensitive.
You put him on the stage 5-7 minutes, big deal.
Right.
If he loses the crowd, we'll get him back. Mm-hmm. Have enough confidence in your own abilities to get a crowd back. Mm-hmm. So Jason goes on. He starts doing his material. I go to the bathroom, right next to the stage. Even though it has a private area, I go into the bathroom. Jason's in the middle of his act. A guy stands up, starts yelling at him. He says, oh, you are not funny. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. And I'm hearing this from the bathroom, and I'm going, holy shit. And this guy's like, I can't believe I spent money to listen to this crap. That's not humor. It's just filth. It's disgusting. Blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, this guy, who I actually know, which I never told Jason.
The heckler.
That.
You actually knew the heckler.
I knew the guy in the audience.
The guy that was, yeah.
Right. He came to see me.
Oh.
And the rest of it,
plot thickens.
I told you, and Jason doesn't even know that, even though he thinks that the show may be a conspiracy against him, that I set that person up.
Oh.
I'm gonna set somebody up to sabotage our own show.
Right, you
That
hadn't
makes a
even
lot
gone
of
on
sense.
yet. Why would you want that? You'd want the crowd to be, good.
Before I go on stage, I want the guy in front of me to completely die, so
Right.
the audience is thoroughly pissed off.
Right.
So I'm in the bathroom while this audience member is yelling at him, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" I was like afraid to even leave the bathroom.
Yeah.
So that complete row, gets up and leaves. So it's a whole row empty, and I walk out and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And Jason finishes up his act, and they said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah, I heard it." I said, "What the fuck?" And so then Jason leaves, and they actually told him he should leave the place because some people lined up to kick his ass.
Right. I bet.
So he got out of there. Dave goes up and introduces me, and we go on with the show. Mm-hmm. So Dave, the MC, was pissed off because, number one, I didn't bring my wife to the show, and he thought his wife was with him, and he thought I was bringing her. I never said to him I was ever going to bring my wife. They thought they would hang out together. So that was one thing he was pissed off. He was pissed off that Jason was in the show, and I don't know what else he's
Can we just interrupt the story for a second?
Sure.
Because we do have a caller.
Okay, maybe it's Jason.
Be continued.
Hello, you're on Corrosive Radio.
Hi. So I have my embarrassing story.
Okay, go ahead. This is a relationship story.
Yes, it is.
Okay, go ahead. Where are you calling from, miss?
I'm calling from Worcester.
Oh, from, Worcester. There you go.
Massachusetts?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. So it was about like a week ago, and I was at a party, and so my ex-boyfriend, I was like, one day we were playing in the bottle, and so everyone was like, well, you can either skinny dip or you can kiss her. So he went in skinny dip instead of kissing me.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, this is, it's just the voice alone.
Yeah.
This is very hot.
Talk slow. Talk slow. This is good.
How old are you?
Yeah.
21.
Nice.
Okay, so that
Legal.
means 14. But
So wait, miss. Let me get the story straight. You had an ex-boyfriend who went skinny dipping with your friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
In front of you. Now you think this was out of spite? Like they did it just to piss you off?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay.
how long had you been? You said you had only been going out a short time, you and the boyfriend. Is that correct?
No, actually, we had just spoken up. We had been going out for like 7 months.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it was done out of spite. I agree with
yeah,
Brendan.
Yeah.
Now, why did they choose to go skinny dipping in front of you?
Spite.
Spite?
We were just there. Where were you?
But that's like the last thing you want to do. I know, like when I go into the water, I shrivel up.
Well, maybe if you had someone with you. So let me ask you this: are you still friends with the girl in question?
No.
No.
What did you guys have it out right there at the party? Did you make a scene?
Not really a scene, I would say, but it was like, you bitch, oh my God,
Right. No, I can.
What
I
did
can
you?
imagine.
Now, what I know that you just didn't let a sleeping dog lie. What did you do to her?
I just said, like, you didn't have to do that. You could have done it a different way. Like, really? Why?
Wow.
That was it.
No, there's more to it.
Yeah.
There's no girl that's not going to be vindictive in a situation like that.
Did you blast her on Facebook?
Yeah, there's some serious cyberbullying going on.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So you're a class act. You're a class act? Are you still there?
Yeah. All right.
Let me ask you this, though. Why did you and your boyfriend break up? What was the issue?
He was cheating.
Well, I think that's not a surprise there. So, okay.
Again?
Was he? Do you know the girl that he was cheating with?
No, actually.
See, that's a smarter thing. If I were going to cheat, I would choose someone that's not in like a social circle, right? I mean, you know, if you were going to cheat, let's say on your wife or a girlfriend, wouldn't you go as far away as possible and not choose? I mean, like using a friend is just it's gonna get you caught.
You also learn.
I know, right?
You also.
Go ahead.
He went to college because I went to Pittsburgh State, and they go to UMass Amherst.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'll be honest with you. If you're going to be trying to do a relationship in college, when you guys go to separate colleges, it's not going to work.
It's a dumb idea.
Yeah, definitely not. How old is your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend?
He is 22.
Yeah.
And you're 29?
No, 21.
21.
21.
21.
I heard 29.
No, listen, we both know she's 15, so that goes without saying.
Do you have a new boyfriend at this point? Or are you working on it? She just fell down the stairs.
She just hung up. All right, okay. I don't know. Half of that I couldn't really hear.
Well, that's because she
sounded very, very cute,
young. And very cute.
And I think that the boyfriend.
Well, we thank you for your call.
Life. Yeah, I hope she calls back. She's very sweet.
There's more to that story.
And let's be honest. But then again, all right. So how vindictive and how spiteful would you be, Brendan? If a girl, let's say that we don't know how they broke up, but let's say that you were dumped by a girlfriend, would you immediately go skinny dipping with her friend in front of her?
No, I see. For the guy, I don't think it's spite. I think it's just impulse and desire. I think
that it was just that he always.
I think for the friend of that girl though, that was definitely.
Yeah, that's a bitch move. There's no question. That's an absolute bitch move because I would never hook up with a friend's girlfriend. I've never done that. I've never actually dated anyone that's dated anyone I even knew. I've always enjoyed having my entire dating life be separate from my regular social circle because it can only lead to awkward situations as far as I can tell, you know, and I don't know. I find it really odd, especially when it's people that have other options. I mean, like the famous ones, like, you know, Clapton and George Harrison.
Right.
I mean, like, let's be honest. Do you need to fall in love with your friend's wife? I mean,
they have a circle, and sometimes it's like it's hard. You get to really know these people,
absolutely,
and you can easily fall in love with them.
But if you're Eric Clapton, you can easily expand your circle and have many other possible women to get to know. I mean, there is that. Again, it's the whole options thing. It seems like to me, if I were George Harrison or if I were one of these, in a situation.
But he knew she was real.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like he meets somebody out of the circle. How do you know if the girl's just trying to totally take advantage of him?
Well, they got divorced, and I don't know how real Patty Boyd was, but it is kind of an awkward situation.
All right, so back to Catskill.
Back to Catskill. We might have to interrupt it again, but
all right, that's because
we don't have a call screener here.
Okay.
This is budget radio.
So we continue with the show, and I go up and do my act. In the first couple of minutes of my act, I have to acknowledge what went on, and I said to the audience that I don't know what the hell went on, but I kind of agree with the heckler in this case, and which I was just trying to win the audience over.
Yeah,
basically.
You gotta.
And so the show went on. Dave was pissed at me for a couple of things, and the guy who was hosting, who we were really good friends for a while, and we just started talking a little bit now. But it's for some reason he just was pissed at me for I guess not being pissed that Jason was in the show, and also he was pissed at me for not bringing my wife to the show, and he was pissed at me for not giving him a cue card with my credits on it so he can introduce me. Because he said to me, "Brett, make sure you get me your index card." Did I say credit card?
No, you said
index
card.
Cue card. Okay, well,
right. Which I'm thinking you got an enormous thing. Like here you go.
I mean like an index card.
Yeah.
Give me an index card with your credentials so I can introduce you. And I really thought he was joking around because we've known each other for a long time. He knows my credentials, the whole deal. So at the night of the show, he's like, do you have your index card? I said, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
And he says, yeah, I'm a professional. And I said, I know, but we've known each other a long time, and I have to give you my intro? You know my fucking intro. So he wasn't happy with that.
Isn't the intro always going to be, this next performer is a funny guy?
Exactly. Clubs and colleges all across the country.
You got to have a stock line.
But now it's like, I want to, my Saturday Night Live credential,
sure.
College humor,
sure.
Stuff like that. So, but he knows that. But anyway, he was pissed. At the end of the show, I said to him, we guys want to, come back to my. Jason was already gone. I said, you guys want to come back to my condo? I have a place, and we could, hang out and everything. No, I'm going right home. This is what Dave says to me. Mm-hmm. And so we talked for a while, and then me and Bobby and somebody else that was there, we end up at the diner, and Dave is at the diner with his wife. Meanwhile, he said he was going home, and we see him at the diner again.
Yeah.
I go on Facebook. I don't know if it was that night or a night later or whatever, and I wrote that I just experienced one of the wildest things I've ever experienced, and I guess when we had a heckler, and I sided with the heckler, and I mentioned couple of the jokes that this guy used, not in its entirety, but I said, like, I guess people are not crazy about Nazi jokes or whatever. And I mentioned a couple of things. I never mentioned his name on the Facebook post. He comes in, he chimes in, and he starts blasting me, because everybody knows his material, everybody knows this. Only a few people in the comedy circle are going to know who I'm talking about. The rest of the people have no idea. So
Sure.
he goes in and starts talking. So now his name is up there. And he causes this whole big battle on Facebook, and everything I've done, he's already he comments on.
Oh,
He leaves snotty comments, and I tried on a couple of occasions to say, hey Jason, let's bury the hatchet.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? It was
Yeah.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
Squash the beef, as the kids say.
And then some couple of comedians took his side too.
What would be the issue? Why would they take his side?
Because they said you should never have blasted him in a public forum.
Okay, which I kind of understand, and this is what the email that I sent Jason.
Okay.
I said you told us sketchy details about the controversy, right? And I told him in the email, I said it almost sounds to me like Brett threw his fellow comedian under the bus in a public forum.
Oh, look at you, you little turncoat, trying to. Yeah, I get it. You're trying to get him.
It's not. I mean, at a surface glance, that's what it sounds like.
I could see that. I mean, yeah. It's one of those situations where if I were in one person's shoes, I would probably feel exactly how that person felt. Like if I were you, I would feel like you felt. Yeah. And if I were him, I'd be like, oh, come on. Just, comedians do seem to have that brotherhood.
I'm excited to be on the...
This is going to be a weird call. Oh. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hello. Is this our dear friend?
No, this is not. This is better. This is astronaut great. Go ahead.
How are you guys?
We're
Stephen
good.
Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
We are fine.
We're fine.
How are you?
No, I'm not Steven.
Okay.
I am a robot.
No kidding.
So robot, get down to it. Why are you calling?
Do you guys like robots?
Yes, I love robots.
Do you like me?
Sure.
What do you look like, robot?
Are you like a crazy person?
Oh, this
I
guy's...
want more friends.
You want more friends. Okay.
You want more friends?
Well, we got to get an understanding of what do you look like. I mean, I've seen some robots. What was was it Judy? Was from the Jet? What was the one from the Jetsons?
He's silver.
Oh no! Yeah, the maid.
The maid from the Jetsons. What was her name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
If you look like her, I might want to get to know you better.
I look like RoboCop, very buff with six-pack abs.
Nice. I thought you said RoboCock.
I thought that's what he said too. I said I have a nice RoboCop. Okay.
RoboCop.
Oh, RoboCop. Very good.
Lead.
All right.
Led
Zeppelin.
Let's not be dirty.
Oh.
No, let's be dirty. Go ahead.
Oil can.
I didn't say cock.
I didn't say.
I see.
I said cop.
There you go.
This guy, at least he's better than
Yeah,
that
no,
other guy that
he's
comes
better
in.
than he's not using a soundboard. The other.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Well, we weren't. We were trying to put something else in your mouth.
There's already something else there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's be honest.
Don't be dirty.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's too much
All
for
right,
you, robot. We
anything else?
gotta let you go unless you got anything else.
Yeah. Do you have a relationship story, robot?
Yeah, bad relationship story.
Yes.
Go ahead, give
Please.
it to us.
Okay. I am just a robot.
Right.
So it is hard.
What's hard?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Doesn't get soft on
Like
you with
steel.
metallic. Yeah.
Get it?
Oh, yes. I get it. Okay. He'll be here all week, people.
Yeah.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Come on.
Jesus.
My robot penis
Yes. Yes.
is
He's answering.
attached.
Is it attached?
Hidden.
Hidden. Okay.
Come with me.
Oh, my Lord. This is terrible.
All right, we want you to call.
Brett, let me ask you something. Did you ever think when you got into show business that after all these years you'd be here talking to a person pretending, with a robot app or some
Right,
sort,
right,
and then
yeah.
I mean, you know,
People
it's
try
gotta
to
be hard.
put me down.
People try to put me
Do
talking,
that.
talking about my generation.
Yeah, the Who.
I mean, it's good, but you gotta get response time a little quicker here.
Yeah, he's answering things from
Hurts my feelings.
though. Good.
exactly. Well, Brendan hurts my feelings sometimes too. So
hurt everybody's
I'm
feelings.
with you there, Robot.
Only robot I really like is Gay Robot that Adam
Nick
Sandler-
Swartzen and Adam Sandler do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very funny
yeah,
stuff.
That's good.
Why are you being mean? I am trying my best.
Okay.
Well, you got to be faster.
You should go to open mic.
Yes.
I am trying to make it.
You have to upgrade your
So
processor.
so are all of us.
Well, we are.
we want to help you. Do you have a webpage? Oh gosh,
No.
that's what I'm talking
He's
about.
typing.
That's
He's
what I'm
typing. He's typing.
Oh,
I don't.
I don't. Okay.
I know. What do you? I mean, you're using one finger to type here. Come on.
He's
You
a
should
hunt
learn-
and peck.
How many words per minute do you type?
I am not typing.
Good point. That's right. He's a robot.
The robot's got a little attitude.
I know.
Little edge to him.
I am a robot.
Yeah, we know
Really
that.
a robot. Yes.
All right.
I know.
All right, we got to let you go. You're
Thank
welcome
you,
to call
Robot.
back.
Thank you,
anytime.
robot.
My friend, want to talk to my friend?
Sure.
Sure.
Yes,
Wait,
what
hold
was
on.
your
Let's hear the
friend?
friend.
Imagine. Let me flip the switch.
AI.
Jesus.
Hi.
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 Yeah, this is getting bad.
I'm Stephen Hawking.
There you go. Now he's got the Stephen Hawking. Please, just say something about black holes and the universe, if you could, and then it'll sound.
Physicist.
All right.
I like black holes.
Yeah, I bet you do like black holes. You dirty, dirty robot.
Wow. Is this his sound effects or ours?
Both of ours.
Because I think that sounded pretty good.
No,
That was ours.
No, the crickets was ours. The rim shot was his.
Really?
Yeah.
Think you're the other robot.
All right.
All right.
No,
we
that's
got
good though. Thank you.
Astronaut,
Thank you.
great. We got to let you go. Take care.
Thank you, man.
See, I mean, there was some good moments there.
Right. Yeah. He's. I think next time he calls in, he'll be better.
Yeah. There's,
By good moments, you mean ones where I don't want to kill myself. You know.
yeah, I know. Ones where I'm like, oh, this
Oh
is dragging.
God, yes. So just to sum up, then basically, what as a listener, what I'm trying to glean here is that Brendan, you've been emailing. It's James, right?
It's Jason.
Jason. Okay.
And if he's listening tonight, he must be
Call
loving.
in,
He must be
Jason.
loving
What the
this.
fuck? Just call
Because we keep
in.
mentioning
What else
his
is going
name.
on?
No, the thing is, based on what you told me, first I thought he just wasn't even responding because I know we saw the email. It's Facebook says you've seen it.
I think he was afraid that we were going to rip into him, and I told him, I said, "Well, just want to have a discussion, you know." And
Brendan's already taking his side. For
And you
God's
know
sakes.
what? I'm not mean spirited, and I told him that I didn't mean anything by it. And then he started one of the things he said, which was pretty funny. He said to me, well, why don't you go to what the hell's that store in the mall where they have all the crazy novelties?
Spencer's.
Yeah. Why did you? At least my act, wasn't bought at Spencer's because I wear the dumb fuck glasses, and so he took a lot of jabs at my act and everything. And I was like, okay. And then when that video came out with the Asian guy hitting me, he proved that it was fake.
Dun,
because,
dun, dun. Proved it. Wow.
Inspector Gadget, kind of
Perry
put
Mason,
pictures up on he freeze framed the shots and everything else, and this is fake and no shit. And but
So basically, you're saying this guy's on your jock. Let's be honest. I mean, basically, if he's going to willing to take the time to sit there and do that, I guess it seems like
he was all over me. And I
Does he
didn't
get gigs at all? Does he get gigs or no?
I don't know. I mean, he talked. This guy Dave has a radio show, and he was on the other day talking about some gigs and stuff, and talked about some of the gigs that didn't go well and everything else, which we all have. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for some reason, the guy ignored your email. I ignored me, and didn't want to talk about it. Doesn't or he feels that we were going to just gang up on.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's what I was trying to explain to him, that this would be a fair arena.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the best case scenario is that you two end up hating each other still.
I don't hate him. I really.
Then that might just be boring then.
Well, I just think it was really douchey the way that he cried like a baby, and
There you go. Now we're getting there.
and that's it. And look, I worked with this guy before. I haven't seen him since that incident, but and then some other comedians chimed in who I never even met before. A guy up in Albany, he starts saying, "Yeah, I worked with him, and he's a real shithead." We never worked together.
Wow.
So it was ridiculous, and I thought I would run into him, at some point, and I never have. But
Well,
whatever.
Brett, don't you remember saying that you thought the best moment on this show was when we had two Pete DeLorenzos going at it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I mean, I want more of that.
Right. All right, Jason, you prick.
Yeah.
No, but I don't. I don't want it to be contrived.
Right.
Because, and I told them I think I told them in the email. I said, if you come up, if you guys make up, so be it. It'll be boring radio, but it's not what I want.
Right.
Well,
it would have been really interesting to hear what he has to say about it, because it should have been brought up on this other radio show that he did the other day, because the guy who was the MC of the show, had him on as a guest. Meanwhile, that would have been the last person that I would expect this guy to have on as a guest, but he had him on as a guest. So I don't really get it, but obviously the guy doesn't like me and wants no part of me.
I went through Facebook. How did you try and contact him?
Facebook, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a different channel.
No,
okay.
I could have called up a couple of people and said, look, I need his phone number, and start doing that. And I don't want to call him. I just, said, you get those messages on Facebook. I get them all the time. So, he obviously doesn't want to, he was afraid to get involved with this kind of discussion. That's okay. That's fine. We'll live.
I suppose. Now, I mean, are there any other comedians that you hate and want to throw under the bus? Can we do that now?
Yeah, we're trying to. What about Walt?
Walt?
Does Walt have any enemies? I'd love to get Walt back on.
Does Walt have enemies? Yeah, anybody that he doesn't book in his club, they don't like him.
Really?
If he books, that's the way bookers are. If they book you, they're really nice guys. If you don't book them, you feel like they're pricks. It's simple as that.
Well, you haven't heard anything from DeLorenzo lately, have you?
No.
That's too bad.
Saw Lisa Lampanelli last night. How about that? Drop names.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Did you tell about the show?
In what capacity?
She has been doing readings for a one-woman show that's coming up, for Broadway.
Okay.
The Vagina Monologues?
No. That's already been done.
Yeah.
And she asks a small group of people to come to these readings, and then after the reading is over, we tell her what we thought.
Right.
And it's really, really cool. And maybe we'll get her on the show.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Everyone, Lisa Lampanelli can come in and promote her Broadway thing to
to
our dozens of listeners.
Dozens.
To the robot.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I mean, imagine that. It's such a hit. So, and
right.
for all the listeners, anyone who has an interesting story involving relationships, involving sex, involving dates, involving drama, feel free to call in. I mean, this is like your fucking therapist's office right here, all right? We are anonymous. We are just not out to judge. You can just call in. We won't even know if it's true, if it's not true. We will work with what you
And
bring.
you don't have to be from Massachusetts.
You don't. Nor do you have to sound pretty hot like the last
She
caller.
sounded really cute, that girl.
She did. She sounded like a girl that is cute and sweet, but doesn't really put out. And I'm not saying that was the reason for her breakup.
How
I'm
can
not
you, how
saying
can you get
that.
to... How
All right, I'm going to give you a theory. No, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you, though. I mean, I didn't hear half of what she was saying because, I mean, my mind went into, like, full-blown fantasy mode.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when was the last time a woman, even semi-attractive woman spoke and you were listening to what she said? Ladies, let's be honest. If we hear what you're saying, it means you're not very good looking.
On that subject matter,
yes.
I made a comment on Facebook. This woman, I'm not sure how I even know her, but we're friends on Facebook. She had these huge tits.
All right, hold on. The robot's calling back.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
okay, what? Go
Should
ahead.
we let him?
Let's take it quick.
whatever.
Let's see.
All right.
All right, robot.
All right. Try.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Oh?
Yeah, this is...
Hear me?
Yes. You're not the robot.
Please speak to me.
It's the soundboard.
Please speak to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All
God.
right. So go ahead, Brett. What were you saying, though, about the girl with the...
This is Elva Keane speaking.
There you go.
This guy's got
Last
a-
night about 2 a.m. my telephone rang. I answered it, but no one spoke. I didn't even hear the receiver being put down.
This guy's getting much better at it.
Yeah, no, this is much better.
Not even the dial tone.
Well, that means-
Just silence.
That means that was, in fact, the soundboard caller from last week.
No, it's not. No, because
Stimulating.
I guarantee this is not him.
Okay.
I answered it, but no one... I didn't even hear the receiver being put down.
We don't
Just silence.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we. Yeah, I don't know.
So go ahead,
I almost
Brett.
want to continue
No,
this.
please don't.
All right.
All right, so this girl.
I was getting into his thing, so
this
talk slow. Go ahead.
This woman puts a picture on Facebook, and she's really pretty, but she's got these huge, huge tits.
Yeah.
So I write underneath it, nice rack.
Beautiful.
And all of a sudden, people are blasting me.
Really?
Like, you're disgusting. You're this. And I say, are you kidding? What would be the natural reaction for a girl who's just showing off her tits on Facebook? Like, it wasn't.
That's obviously what she's going for. And right, that's what
and
you're
then
saying.
The girl who I commented about, she chimes back and she says, I think that's pretty disgusting. And I was really showing people my hat. I said, number one, your hat was cut off. Number two, with those huge tits, forget it. You're not going to look at the hat.
Yeah.
A hat's a hat. Nobody wants to look at a hat.
All right.
Is this soundboard guy again?
No, you're on Corrosive Radio.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on Corrosive Radio. You got a relationship story?
I do.
Awesome.
Feel free.
Yeah. So it was my freshman formal dance, and so it was literally the day before the dance, and I just didn't think anyone would ask me. So I was kind of disappointed, but it was literally like the day before the dance, and so I'm walking in between. I go to a boarding school, so I'm walking in between buildings with this kid that I've been friends with like all year.
This sounds like a rape story.
He's like, oh, so do you want to go to semi with me? As I'm like foot into my classroom, ready to go. So I look in my classroom because I'm basically there. And he was like, oh. And then I turn around and I take Arabic. And in Arabic was a sign asking me to go to the dance. And the whole class was standing there waiting for me to say yes to this kid who made me this poster. So they both heard it, and it was the awkward situation ever. And I just kind of ran away and skipped class. So I get to the dining hall, and it's like the lunch. So I was talking to people at my table, like, oh, what should I do? And they're like, oh, just don't go with either. Or just I'll go with whoever asked you first, whatever. So there are announcements after lunch, and in front of the whole school, this kid gets up, and he's like...
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, wait. He was what?
He gets up in front of the whole school and asks if Courtney's there. So I have to stand up, and he's like, do you want to go to semi with me? This is kid that I've never seen in my entire life. And he asked me to semi in front of the whole school. And two kids were already waiting for an answer.
So
what have you given? Have you given an answer yet?
Yeah, I mean, so basically.
Yeah, this was a while ago. I just didn't go with anyone.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So basically, his heart is now broken.
Right, but he was a creep though.
He's putting her on the spot in front of other
putting her
people.
on the
I heard he
spot.
killed himself.
Yeah, that's a well-known story. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't he jump off a bridge and go to Rutgers?
Yeah.
Miss, can I ask you
pretty
something?
close.
Yeah. So does that? And I'm just curious, from the female perspective, does that make you feel good though? If let's say a guy asks you out and then you say no, do you want him to have like not a suicidal reaction, but something close? Does that make you feel good? I mean, you can be honest. We're not judging here.
I mean, I'd want them to be upset,
Right.
but I mean, well, then it's kind of awkward because if they're really attached to you, you just feel bad whenever you see them looking at you, those puppy eyes. That's
Right.
just a sad situation.
But why? I must have missed something. Why?
Yeah.
Why did she say? Why did you say no?
I actually didn't say no. I just sat back down.
He didn't look good. He wasn't a good-looking guy, huh?
But that's so. Anyway, to rephrase Brett's question, why didn't you say yes?
Well, because I knew, the entire lunch I was talking with my friends about, who I should go with.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, just talk it over with both of them, and they'll both understand. So I have these two kids that witnessed each other, ask me to semi at the same time. I know they're going to, start some fight in the dorm or whatever later, so that's just out of the question. And then this kid I've never seen before in my entire life gets up and asks me. And I was like, I really don't know what to do, so I just sat back down. It's really fun to all my teachers, though, so I still haven't heard the end of it.
No, so Miss, Miss, you're probably 15. The answer is because you didn't like him. I mean, you just gave everyone here a runaround answer. I mean, if you thought the guy was cute and charismatic,
Yeah, if Johnny Depp asked you out, you'd be going, whether it was in front of people or not.
Well, yeah, but...
Okay. No, and that's cool. Let's be honest. We're all somewhat shallow. I mean, we're all shallow here. If there was an ugly girl that asked me out, I would say, oh, well, I'm sorry. I either have a girlfriend. I'd say, oh, I have to not be around here.
I've made other arrangements.
I've made other arrangements, yes, such as slitting my wrists.
Would you do that in front of the entire school?
Yes. You know what you should...
You would?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
yes.
Well, yeah. It's a sense of honesty.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to learn to take. He's a guy. He can take it. We're built for it.
Yeah,
And you know what?
honestly,
He shouldn't put you on the spot anyway.
that's wrong of him to do that. I mean, that's kind of making you have to say yes. It's kind of like one of those safety in numbers situation where he's like, if I ask, he's too scared to come up to you by
it's
himself.
like putting a gun to somebody's head.
Right. Which works, by the way. I just want to point that out. That
you
works
would've said
really
yes
well.
then,
Yeah, you'd say yes.
I have a question because some guys go to Yankee Stadium and they propose to their
On a Jumbotron.
Right,
on
yeah,
a
absolutely,
Jumbotron.
yeah.
But they have a history. There's already an established relationship.
Right. They've been dating for like 6 years.
Like 6 years. He knows she's going to say yes.
Right.
I get the sense that this kid liked you from a distance and never expressed it until that point.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what was his ethnic background?
That's an important question. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Caucasian, I guess.
Ah, one of those white people.
whiteys?
God, I
Well,
can't
that's
stand
my
them.
entire school,
White
so.
bread.
Yeah, well, let's be. It's a private. Wow, that's some veiled racism.
Okay.
There we go.
I didn't want to
it's a
go
private
there.
School. Okay.
She went there.
It's entirely white. Let's be honest. It's like if you have one, he's the token this or that. But so, and by the way, where are you calling from? Like the region? Is this Massachusetts? Is this Jersey, New York? Where are we at?
I live in Massachusetts, but I go to school in Connecticut.
Oh, cool!
Wait,
wow.
Did your friend just tell you to call in?
Yes.
Very cool.
Hey,
you
guys
sound similar.
Well, you weren't the one that was swimming with her ex-boyfriend, were you?
No, that's my friend. I made her call, and I promised if she called, I'd call.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, well, there you go.
Are you guys actually listening to us?
Yeah, they're recording it.
Oh, very, very
super.
cool.
Wow. So, so many people are hearing.
Let me ask you, so you didn't go to the big dance. What did you do that night?
Sat in the dorm and watched TV.
Oh, okay.
Is that a euphemism for a couple of lines of coke and some?
That's.
I mean, let's be honest.
That's a destroyed vagina later in your life.
Absolutely.
That's
Oh
what that
my
is.
goodness. My goodness, Brendan, you just go right there for it. But
So,
let me,
what do you chicks do for fun up in
you
Massachusetts?
chicks, look at you chicks.
I want to go to Massachusetts.
Yeah, what are you broads up to?
Yeah, no. I mean, this is not a Wellesley call, is it?
What's that?
It's Mount.
Exactly.
Holloway. So,
I'll go skinny dipping at parties. Like,
Are you even part of this conversation right now, or
me?
yes, you?
Well, I mean, it'd be kind of awkward if I wasn't, considering I'm on the radio.
Right,
right.
right.
Going right for the literal.
It would be.
So let me ask you this though: you're still in high school then, right? This was a high school formal.
Yeah.
When you go, this is private, but it's not all girls and all boys. This is actually a mixed private school.
Yeah.
Do you have to wear those uniforms?
No, but it's dress code.
Oh,
What
so
kind
what
of
can't you wear? Everything you want to wear, right?
You have to wear like a dress, and guys have to wear blazers.
Oh gosh,
blazers.
Oh my lord, they still do. That's like a form of like
Is this
child
like
abuse.
Is this like a religious school?
No, it's just a private school in
private
Connecticut.
It's a school where you don't have to go to school with
A private
ethnic
school.
people. It's
Oh,
like it's
yeah,
white
yeah.
people saying, "Let's just save our kids and send them all to Connecticut."
Yeah.
So
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
But
it's interesting.
I don't know.
Are there any black people in your school?
She already said no.
No.
Oh, some.
Some.
Oh,
Okay.
so- okay.
Oh,
They snuck
what
in.
sports do they play?
Lacrosse.
Everyone plays lacrosse. We have four lacrosse teams, and it's annoying because I play softball, and there's one softball team.
What position do you play? Please, okay.
I'm a pitcher.
Oh,
Nice.
pitcher. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So and so what, getting back to the dress code though, I'm just curious, what kind of things you can't wear? You have to wear a dress. How can it be above knee? Can it be like mid thigh, like a skirt?
I mean, it can be whatever, but there's always that teacher that calls you out on it. But
Really?
whatever.
Like you can't wear like a pencil skirt or some kind of nice like form fitting type thing.
You can. Oh, you do. It's
you
just
do?
a bit too short. I mean, they tell you to change, but you don't actually change.
Okay, and so you're able to wear that. Can you pull it off? I mean,
Yeah.
not literally, but yeah. So you can pull it off. You look good. You look good enough to wear that.
Of course I do.
Interesting. What's your situation? You have a boyfriend.
Well, I did.
And what happened there?
Well, I mean, he just got kind of like clingy, and I was like, I just don't have time for you anymore. So
Yeah, I mean, so he
You need
wasn't.
some room to breathe, man.
You do. I'm with you here. So I understand
Yeah,
that.
so you're definitely not one of those women that like clingy boyfriends because most women like that. They almost beg for it.
Well, I mean, the attention's nice, but after a while, it's like, all right, well, I have other plans.
See, that's the key, though. After a while, you notice it's a situation where once you feel like you have what you
it's
want,
territorial.
exactly,
You know
it's like there's nothing further you can gain from having them around.
She has something. I remember there was one girl who used to hang all over me, but I didn't really like her all that much. Then it became
And what
really
happened with you
annoying.
and your mom then?
Yeah. But I mean, if you're really into that person,
Right.
you have no problem with them hanging all over you.
Sure.
If you are not into them, it's like, get away from me.
Was he on the lacrosse team, Miss?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
you know what it
That
is.
explains it.
You need a basketball player
What?
or at least a football player.
What year are you in?
I'm going to my junior year.
Nice.
God, you shouldn't be calling this.
So wait, this was about to get really bad. So no, let me just ask you this though. In all seriousness, if you sound like you've got a nice voice and you sound like you dress well. So what was the issue with nobody asking you to formal except that one loser?
Well, I mean, it's just like everyone does that. It's the week before. All these guys are idiots and just like forget to ask people.
Forget to
So
ask.
I don't know. They're lost.
You probably are very good looking, and these guys are getting nervous around you.
Well, yeah, but we think
Maybe. Well, I mean, we have these dances like all the time, and they're not like the normal like awkward you see on TV high school dances. They're like actual like I guess you could call them rages. They're pretty sick,
Nice.
and they always like. It's like the quote, like, do you want to leave with me? And they'll, like, grab your shirt and you just leave and, like, go hook up somewhere on campus. But, like, people always do that, and it's just awkward.
Wait,
'cause
talk
you can't
slow. This
say
is
no
turning
in
me
front
on.
of other
Talk slow.
people.
Do some of the guys at the dances, like, they just stand there?
I think I'm clocking out of this conversation.
Go ahead. Brett and I will take over.
When you have these dances, do the guys just kind of stand there and let you girls rub against them, as like they think that's dancing?
Yeah.
You have the normal high school thing. I mean, no, it's not like that at all. Normally the guys are just kind of crazy. I mean, it can be kind of offensive when a guy just comes up and starts grinding with you, but, I mean, It's what it is. We have this, like, code thing, and you're, like, with your friends in, like, a circle, and if someone comes up and starts grinding with you, it's, like, 1, 2, or 3, and you rate them on the hotness scale. Like, if they're 2 or 3, like, it's fine, but if they're 1, like, you just spin out and it's over.
See, I'm a 3 on the hotness scale, so I could basically bump and grind with whomever I wanted. That was kind of my thing going. So, but some poor schlubs, they're the ones. In which case,
I was like a -3.
yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. Oh, please, we all know you're a model. So So I'm just curious though. When in those situations, how do you stop dancing with the asshole one that's coming up and bothering you? What do you do? Do you just smack them? Do you get security? Do you and your friends point, laugh, and then talk about his lack of manhood? What's the deal?
Well, I mean, it depends on who it is. Like, if it's some just, like, really big asshole, like, the pointing and laughing is a must. But we, like, have these moves, and we practice them in the dorm. Just, like, you spin out, and then you just walk away.
Right.
And then it's over. I mean, they're not going to follow you. Like,
No, I mean, and if they do, then you start running because.
well, they're usually police at the dances, so, I mean,
So-
that's a safe spot.
What is your favorite thing to do with a guy?
Right?
What is your favorite thing to do with a man or a guy or?
A 44-year-old comedian.
Said the 50-year-old man.
No, but he's asking a good
Seen a
question.
grown man naked?
No, come on, let's be honest. Like, in other words, what he's saying is that, we hear so many things now about kids these days, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you sound like you're smart. You sound like you're together. You sound like you know what's going on. So, I mean, are there reasons for parents to be worried about their kids over there in that school? I mean, is there a lot of sexual activity going on? Is there a lot of, that kind of stuff? Yeah, what's the deal? Like, tell us about your school.
There definitely is.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's not, like, within concern. Like, if you didn't want to, like, no one's going to, like, make you. But, like,
so
I mean,
there's
if
no
you
rape?
don't, it's kind of weird, but I don't know.
Is there any bondage?
The relationships are weird. Normally, they're like they don't last more than a week.
No, that's not what
It's
he
more
meant.
like,
That's not
let's
what he
hook
meant
up
at
on
all.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point, though. So what's in your situation? So you're obviously a junior. Oh, so you're a junior, right? You clearly sound like you're experienced.
Not legal.
Well, clearly, no, not. It's not legal for someone above 18, but for the people that she goes to school with. Look, I mean,
Wait, Miss, what is your name?
You're a fake name.
Courtney.
Okay, Courtney.
Now, would you want an assignment?
Sure.
Would you like to be our correspondent for this school?
Sure, why not?
All right, so your mission is to go around and gather like the dirtiest details you can. And all.
Yeah, we want to know about all the things from the biggest assholes to the worst sluts to the girls that think they're the shit and clearly aren't.
It's just our way of keeping our finger on the pulse of the the
the
underage.
youth.
Yeah,
I mean,
the youth.
Corrosive Radio is all about the youth culture.
Yeah.
So it's been our mission statement since day one.
So every week you would call in and you'd give us like you'd give us
The slut report.
maybe the slut report. We don't know what we're going to call it yet. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay,
Cool.
that sounds good.
That sounds good.
So what's your plans for the summer then? Who's the guy that you have your eye on? I'm sure there's a guy that you're just waiting to kind of ask you out, or you're trying to put your feelers out to see if he likes you, or one of those things. You know, who's the next sort of conquest, if you will? Who's the one that you're looking to sink your teeth into?
Well, there are always new students for every year, so we'll see.
But wouldn't they be freshmen, or you can come in like at other?
No, you can. Only half the class that's a freshman graduates, so you get more people every year.
Oh,
So,
would you be with a freshman?
Okay.
Probably not.
No,
Too young.
too young, right? Yeah.
I mean, that's more of a guy thing to go for the freshman girls, so,
Sure.
you know.
I'll say.
It's
Break
easier.
them in. Yeah, it's easier. Exactly.
It's easier. That's why.
Do the people in your school, they come from all over the country?
All over the world.
All over the world.
Wow. Oh, so
Yeah,
this is
there are a
good.
few international
So
kids.
this is going to be the global slut
Is your
report.
grandfather George W. Bush? Is this what's going on? This sounds like a very elite school.
No, it's Connecticut. It's very
Right.
waspy up there.
Right.
Yeah.
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 That's where I'm moving next week, by the way.
Where are you originally from?
That's not creepy.
Thomas,
From where?
Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts. That's
Right.
where you're
Yeah.
originally from. Okay. And the school is in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Where are you looking to go to college?
I mean, I haven't really started looking at colleges yet, but
Well,
I mean, I've heard a lot of things. Our college advisors meet with us freshman year and talk about it, and it kind of starts this year.
here's the deal. I'm going to give you some advice. You don't want to go for one that has great credentials in terms of academia or scholastic things. You want something that's just fucking fun as hell.
Right.
Tons of parties.
Right.
Tons of ravers, rages, all this type of things, and lots of drugs.
Initiations.
Yeah. You want to go where my sister went, and she burned her pancreas on a binge drink.
Yeah.
University of Colorado.
Shout out. All right. University of Colorado. Yeah, you could ski, drink, smoke. Yeah, right. Smoke now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a brother at Syracuse, so
Oh, nice.
Syracuse.
Okay.
Okay.
cool.
All right.
What are your parents very worried about you being out there all by yourself in the boarding school situation, or what?
I mean, not really. I wanted to go, and my brother went, so.
Oh, okay. And just out of curiosity, with the other girl that called in, was she being a good girlfriend? Why? She said that the guy was cheating on her. I'm just curious from your perspective. Was she just not really taking care of her female duties, so to speak, as a girlfriend?
I think she was, but she might have been doing a little too much.
Wow,
Wait, so
too
he
much. What?
broke up with it because it was too much?
So the guy's gay?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't kiss her. He'd rather go skinny dipping than kiss her, so.
Oh,
That's the problem.
No. You know what? I know what happened with him.
Is your school gay friendly?
Yeah.
Nice.
They're like
Good.
clubs and stuff, but
It's Connecticut. They're friendly to everything, as long as it's got money. And so you're just out of curiosity, then the girl that your friend that her ex-boyfriend went skinny dipping with another girl. How did that other girl look? Was she hot or no? Was she skanky?
no.
She's
skanky.
skanky, like a hot skanky or like a skanky, gross skanky.
I mean, I can see why she's not upset because, I mean, it's a total downgrade, but, like, whatever.
Downgrade.
Like, not even like, hot skanky. She's
Not
just
even
cute.
Scott. Really? Was she? What kind of panties would she wear? Would she be wearing probably some? I'm just saying. Not that I'm interested. I'm just trying to figure out, that kind of situation.
I mean, I tried not to look.
Oh, okay.
You tried not to look, which means she looked.
You were there.
Everybody was there. It seems like
Wait, is there a video of this somewhere?
No.
Yeah, so that's a yes.
Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Well,
all right,
listen.
Courtney.
Yeah, thanks for being a good sport.
Courtney.
Yeah, and also I'm going to ask you a question. What's your favorite music act?
Yeah.
Music act?
Yes.
Do you know DJB?
Yeah, don't say One Direction.
Definitely not One Direction.
Justin Bieber.
I like Skrillex.
What?
Skrillex, DJ.
Skrillex.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
that kind
very
of stuff.
cool.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right,
just wanna make
Courtney.
sure.
Courtney,
You should play her Brett's thing.
No.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, thanks. You got to be our correspondent, okay? Because while we are obviously older and such, we're not we just want to get an idea of what's going on in these boarding school situations. We're not looking to name any names. We're not looking to be, anything other than just, everything will be anonymous, and we're just trying to figure out what is that goes on in some of these boarding schools.
All right, cool.
Well, have you heard of the Milton scandal?
No, what is a Milton scandal?
I look it up.
Oh, really?
Can you tell? Why don't you just tell us?
There's a movie after it.
Yeah, Courtney, I'll tell you what. Why don't you call in next week and tell us what the Milton scandal is? Okay,
sounds good.
Watch the movie.
All right, like an Urban Dictionary thing. I hope it's like a Cleveland steamer or some sort of
a Stanley steamer.
Yeah, one of those where it's just like a Cosby sweater.
All right, Courtney, you were a lot of fun, and I also cringed a lot during this conversation.
Oh, please. We know that she's 24 years old. It's okay.
All right. So have a good night, Courtney.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank
you, Courtney.
Well, okay, so it's quite clear at this point that the other person wasn't 21.
Right.
Well, did you really? I mean, she sounded like she was about 8, but let's be honest. We know that she actually is probably 22. We would never ask questions like that if we thought these girls were, underage. And to be honest, these were just genuinely,
nice girls.
Yeah, and they were just also innocent questions. We're just trying to find out what is their activities there. Are they engaging in these drugs and promiscuous activities that we hear about on the news?
Yeah.
I mean,
We sure hope so.
Yeah.
Well,
we really do. We really do, and we want videos up on the website.
Oh, good. And yet you're moaning for me. I'm curious about someone's undergarments just to know what type.
I know. I'm a conflicted man. There's
You
no
really
doubt
are.
about it.
I feel like Brendan wants to ask a lot of questions, just like
He's
we were.
holding back.
But he's holding back because
Yeah.
I was telling him beforehand, he actually has morals, he has values, he has a character. I have none of those things. I've been looking for it.
Well, I thought we were very decent with these girls.
I was doing all right, right? I mean, granted.
No, I think I said the worst thing when she opened up, and we went between two buildings. My mind automatically went to rape.
Oh, and I wonder why. But let's just be honest. I mean, it seems like every time I'm looking for those kind of morals and such, I just see vagina instead, and it distracts you. It's a powerful. I think if Gandhi were really good looking, he wouldn't have been Gandhi.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. It's one of those things where it's difficult. It's easy to be like a monk or an ascetic.
These girls sounded very, very cute.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're willing to play along and be open.
If they came for money, there's a 99% chance they're very, very cute.
Oh, is that
why
right?
do you think that's the case? I feel like sometimes that's the case. I'm not sure.
Okay, we got robot call. We're gonna. Should we?
Does he? Let's see if he.
Let's
Well,
end.
we'll keep going. All right.
Let's end the call on. Let's end the show on robot caller.
Did you fucking eat it? You Mr. fucking president! You fucking
That's De Niro from what?
Yeah.
What movie is that
No, I
from?
don't know.
Is that Cape Fear? No, that's not Cape Fear, is it?
Still fuck you, old motherfucker!
Who's
I
that?
think you like taking it up the ass. I think you like blowing little boys. That's what I think about you.
Dice
You-
Clay?
That's
I like
Brett's
to fuck
act. No.
get rifles and skull fuck you. That's what I think.
Wait a
okay?
second. What's the guy's name? James? What? James, is that you? He
Jason
called in.
Smith.
Jason Smith, that's you? Jason, what's going on there, man?
Bold fuck.
Oh, Jason,
That's
you shouldn't
me?
say that about Brett. I mean, he's just, he's balding, but not. It's not. He's still got hair.
A little bit.
Wow.
No. No.
I'm pretty sure he does. I mean, what do you think of Brett?
Lick my ass pipe.
Oh, man.
You know what? Jason actually loves
Stop dead, you old cocksucker.
loves Dice Clay. So this could be him. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. Maybe it's Jason all along.
I'd eat your pussy till it squeaks.
Oh.
Oh, ayo.
You might be right.
Yes, you are. You're fucking lying right out of your fucking mouth. Come back now, huh, tough guy?
Hey, tough guy.
Hey, tough guy.
You might be right. This might actually be him.
Jason, how are you, baby?
What's your name? What's your name?
What's your name?
Well, what's your name?
Brett.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking hot on.
Brett, I mean, really, are you going to take that from Jason Dice Clay?
I fuck you with one sock on.
Nice.
Wow. That's his way of saying that you're not even worth it to take off, to fully destroy.
I'm glad he's using original material.
You want to answer that?
Oh, man.
All right. Listen, Jason, you're welcome to call back next week. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
And anybody else to call in,
That's
let's see.
But guys, we're gonna get out of here now.
All right.
Is there anything anybody wants to say before we go here?
I'm sorry.
For what?
He's just making sure.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Corrosive Radio.